Ever get the feeling that, like, the most ordinary days can just take the strangest turns? That's what we're diving into today.
Yeah,
The mysterious disappearance of Zebb Quinn.
absolutely.
So imagine, like, you're a young guy, just 18 years old, working at Walmart.
Okay.
It's January 2nd, 2000. The new millennium has just begun, and you've got plans to, like, check out a car with your coworker after your shift.
Right.
Sounds, pretty normal.
On the surface, yeah, it does. But for Zebb Quinn, this ordinary night, it marked the beginning of a mystery that's captivated people for decades.
And it all starts with a page.
Yeah.
Now remember, this is 2000 pre-cell phone era. Getting a page back then, that meant something was urgent.
Oh, yeah.
So Zebb receives this page just minutes after leaving Walmart, pulls over, visibly agitated. Witnesses say he was, like, frantic.
Wow.
The page was traced back to his aunt's house. But here's the catch. She claims she never made the call.
Oh, wow.
And to make matters even stranger, her house was broken into that same night. What do you make of that?
It's a chilling detail that immediately, throws a wrench into any assumption of this being a simple disappearance, right? It suggests a deliberate act, perhaps someone trying to lure Zebb into a vulnerable situation. The break-in at his aunt's house adds another layer of intrigue. Was it connected to the page or just a bizarre coincidence?
It's like someone was setting a stage, right? Creating this, like, air of urgency and confusion.
Yeah.
And then Zebb is gone.
He is. After the call, he speeds off, even bumping into his coworker's car in his haste. This coworker, Robert Jason Owens, is the last person known to have seen Zebb.
Okay, so we've got Owens, who we know was supposed to meet Zebb that night. Let's talk about him, because his involvement in all of this is, well, suspicious, to say the least.
To put it mildly, you see, when questioned, Owens claimed that Zebb had rear-ended him before speeding off. But there's no police report,
What?
no witnesses to corroborate this story.
So already his story has holes.
And the holes get bigger. That same night, Owens ends up in the hospital. Head injury, broken ribs. But when asked about it, he can't or won't explain how he got those injuries.
Huge red flag. I mean, what's he hiding? And it gets even more convoluted, right? Because he, like, inserts himself into the investigation even further.
He does.
Yeah.
He later admits to calling Walmart the day after Zebb vanished, pretending to be Zebb and calling out sick.
So he's lying. He's changing his story. He has unexplained injuries that coincide with the night Zebb disappeared. It's hard not to see him as a prime suspect at this point.
And the authorities certainly did, but here's where the case takes another turn. 2 days after Zebb's disappearance, his car is found abandoned in a hospital parking lot.
Okay.
But it's not just the location that's strange, it's what's inside the car that really, fuels the mystery.
Okay, let's talk about this car scene, because it's one of the most baffling parts of this whole story. I mean, you got a missing 18-year-old, and then the car turns up with these bizarre details.
Imagine this. You walk up to this car, and there, on the back window, is a pair of lips drawn in lipstick, along with an exclamation point. Inside.
Yeah.
You find a jacket that doesn't belong to Zebb, empty drink bottles scattered around, and perhaps the most perplexing detail of all, a live black Labrador puppy.
A puppy. What does that even mean? It's such a strange mix of elements. You've got these almost theatrical clues like the lipstick, and then this completely random and, frankly, heartbreaking detail of the puppy. It's almost as if someone wanted to make the scene look like something it wasn't.
It's a detail that has fueled endless speculation. Was it a bizarre attempt to throw off the investigation? A cruel joke? Or is there a meaning we're all missing? And as if the lipstick and the puppy weren't enough, there's more. Investigators also found a hotel keycard in the car, but it proved to be a dead end, untraceable to any hotel. It's like someone scattered puzzle pieces with, no intention of putting them back together.
Right, you're just left grappling with these strange clues,
Yeah,
trying to make sense of it all.
exactly. Now, remember Misty Taylor, the woman some witnesses believed they saw driving Zebb's car?
Yeah, the one the police sketch was based on.
Precisely. It turns out that Zebb was interested in her romantically. However, she was already dating a man named Wesley Smith.
Okay.
And let's just say Wesley had a bit of a reputation.
Evening.
He wasn't known for being a particularly pleasant fellow.
Okay.
There were rumors of aggression, a controlling personality, and even alleged threats directed at Zebb over Misty.
Wow. Okay, so now we're venturing into the territory of a possible love triangle. Could jealousy be the, driving force behind Zebb's disappearance?
It's a theory that investigators explored extensively. Wesley was considered a person of interest, especially given his history and those alleged threats, but without any concrete evidence linking him to Zebb's disappearance, it remained just that, a theory.
So we have this tangled web of strange clues, a suspicious coworker with a shaky alibi, and a potential love triangle with a volatile individual in the mix. What ultimately leads to a break in the case?
We fast forward 15 years.
Okay.
It's 2015, and a horrifying crime rocks the very same area where Zebb disappeared. A local family is found murdered in their home. Oh, wow.
And who is arrested and charged with this crime?
I have a feeling I know the answer to this one, Owens.
You're absolutely right. Robert Jason Owens is charged with the murders of Christy Schoen Codd, her husband, and their unborn child.
That's chilling. And to think this happens in the same vicinity where Zebb vanished all those years ago.
It's a chilling twist in an already complex case, and during the investigation into this new case, disturbing discoveries were made on Owens' property.
Disturbing in what way? What did they find?
Investigators uncovered things like fabric, leather, and other materials buried under concrete, the kind of things that immediately make you wonder what someone might be hiding.
It's like something out of those true crime documentaries, the way those details just send a shiver down your spine. It makes you wonder, could this be connected to Zebb's disappearance after all this time?
While the police haven't officially linked those findings to Zebb's case, it undoubtedly casts a dark shadow over Owens, especially considering his history and now this escalation of violence. So after all these years, do they finally have enough to connect him to Zebb's disappearance?
In a surprising turn of events, Owens himself offered what seemed like a lead. Remember back in 2017, he gave a statement blaming his uncle for Zebb's death, claiming his uncle had been hired by the jealous boyfriend, Wesley Smith.
Right, that wild story. Did anyone actually believe him?
Well, it was a bizarre claim, to say the least. But then, in 2022, Owens took a plea deal. He admitted to being involved in Zebb's death, but here's the catch: he pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact. Meaning he confessed to helping cover up the crime, but he still maintained that he didn't actually kill Zebb.
So after all these years, all these twists and turns, the biggest question remains, who killed Zebb Quinn? And if Owens was involved in covering it up, does that lend any credibility to his story about his uncle and Wesley Smith?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Owens' confession, while significant, it only deepens the mystery. It provides a sliver of an answer while simultaneously presenting even more questions.
And the fact that Zebb's body was never found just adds another layer of tragedy to this whole ordeal. No closure for his loved ones. No definitive answers.
It's a heartbreaking reminder that justice, even when it seems to prevail, can feel incomplete.
Thinking back on everything we've discussed, those strange clues found in Zebb's car continue to baffle me.
Yeah.
The lipstick, the puppy, that untraceable hotel key card. It's like a bizarre puzzle with pieces that don't quite fit.
And that's what makes Zebb's case so captivating, even after all this time. It's a story of dead ends, unanswered questions, and a lingering sense of unease.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What truly transpired that night? Were those clues red herrings meant to mislead us? Or do they hold a key to unlocking this mystery that we haven't grasped yet?
Perhaps there's a detail we've overlooked, a connection yet to be made.
It's a case that stays with you. It makes you question everything. What stands out to you the most in all of this? Whether the strange clues, the love triangle angle, the fact that it took so long to even get a partial confession?
For me, it's the enduring mystery of it all. Despite the plea deal, the heart of the matter remains shrouded in uncertainty.
Zebb Quinn's case reminds us that some mysteries never truly close. They linger, they intrigue, and they remind us that the truth can be far more elusive than we might imagine. If this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, we encourage you to, delve deeper into the case. Perhaps you'll uncover a perspective or a detail that we missed. Until then, keep asking questions and keep searching for answers.